There's stuff for the whole family. Oh man, it's good to see you. I hope you've being here means you've had your fill to rest. Thank you for that, Awa. I appreciate it. How dare you? The audacity. I know. I may peer pressure you starting from old FromSofts. Barely. The first FromSoft I want to play, and I know this probably sounds ridiculous, but I want to play Sekiro. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but I want to play it. I saw someone play it, and I'm like, I want to play that game, even if it's one of the harder Souls games. Like, I don't care. I want to play it. I want to beat it. So, that's like #1 on my list. I would eventually love to play like a Demon Souls or a Bloodborne. But like Sekiro is like #1 for me right now. I'm like, I would not start with Elden Ring. I personally would start with Sekiro. It's the most unlike the others, so it's perfectly fine. Yeah. So I was like, I want to be like little Spider-Man swinging from the rooftops, you know? It looks sick. So I was like, I want to play Sekiro. So that's like my top right now. If I were to play a Souls game, it would be that one. Okay. Okay, so it's doing all right. We've been exchanging messages from the Eurasian Alliance throughout. Okay. Wait. With all the Souls games, I would advise starting the oldest and going really. Going backwards can be painful. That is true. However, mind Flamen to join us. She wants to know what happened to Minfilia, and I think it's best if she hears it from you. Okay. Where am I going? Back out here? Y'all, we're in post Shadowbringers. I almost just said Stormblood. Oh, hi. Also, don't y'all love it when you get like a dasher for your order and then it goes away? Like, why don't you want to grab my food anymore? Is there a reason? Never mind, they're back. They're just like, no more grabbing your food. Thank you. We're just gonna express how I want to know the world of Minfilia sacrificed so much to save. Yeah. She's done so much. For everybody. Oh, Kataru's back. I'm so happy. I do miss our Kukane look, though. So Minfilia chose to pass on her gifts to the next oracle, the girl who Thancred named Reen. To have such a burden thrust upon her as a child, only to embrace it when given the choice. In that respect, they are quite alike. It would seem her legacy is indeed in capable hands. Kate, might I ask you a favor of you for when you next you return to the First, to tell Reen what I cannot? Tell her thank you. Will do. That's a pretty easy message. And I would offer the thanks to you as well for staying with her to the end. Begging your pardon, but could I have a word? Hello. I forgot who you are. Real! I hope you're here to tell me you received word from our helper. I wish. Nay, I had not peep of him. And it's been a good long while now. Too bloody long. On account of which, I am going to sneak over to the border and see if I can get a signal from him to closer up. But what if they catch you? There must be another way. Well, it ain't as if we can ask Thancred to do it. Besides, I shouldn't have no trouble picking me way through Grimmilt. Now the fight-ins died down. Gods know there's enough shadows to hide in. And it beats waiting around these twiddling me thumbs. Any road. I just thought I'd let you know. Now, I'd best be... Ah, I nearly forgot. Cryle's at the stones and she wants to work. Something to do with the patients. She's been getting ready to examine them again when I left. Cryle! I miss Cryle. Yeah, we gotta head back. It's important. We're off to see the bestie cryo. Cryo. Where is cryo? Da, 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 da. Okay. Yay!
You're here. Good.
It's been so long. It's been so long. It's been so long.
So, how are they?
Have fun, Streaky. Look forward to when I can cause all that merge. Exclamation point lurk. Thanks for the lurk, Rel. I appreciate you. And thanks. I appreciate it. For anyone who may wish to know, I have /T version of the Tombstone macro, so you can sit and sip tea indefinitely? Really? Wait, that's amazing. I mean, care to share? I think I have the sips tea emote now, too. I think I was given that. I forgot by who, though.
Still locked in slumber, but otherwise in good physical health.
Oh my god. Sorry. I don't have it. I'll just scroll on my fake phone.
For the present, at least.
For the present? Oh no, is something wrong with them?
Well, not
I'm
entirely.
afraid there may be.
Oh, she's talking about the never mind. I know what she's talking about. It's fine.
I summoned you after detecting faint signs of instability in Thancred's corporeal ether.
Oh, wait!
But subsequent examinations suggested all 5 might be affected. And when I examined them just now, my fears were confirmed.
I forgot. I completely forgot that all of the other scions are sleeping right now. Well, sleeping. Because they're in the first. I forgot that their physical bodies are here. And they're not with us. I keep forgetting. Like, because you're with them the whole time. You're just like, oh yeah, they're here with me. Well, they kind of are and they kind of aren't. Because their bodies in the source are sleeping right now. Unconscious, quite honestly. I forgot about that. Haha, oops. Forgot about that one. Yeah.
Tellingly, the degree of instability varies between them. Thancred exhibits the most notable signs, followed by Y'shtola and Urianger. The twins' ether, meanwhile, remains relatively stable, but there is a change there too if one knows to look for it.
Hold on. Isn't that the order they were called away in?
Yeah.
Indeed.
So they gotta help out.
Which leads me to believe the instability will only increase with time.
Who was the first one to go? I don't even remember.
Though
Was it
I can
Urianger?
but speculate, I fear this may be a symptom of a weakening link between body and soul.
Yeah.
By the gods! What happens if the link is broken?
Oh, Tataru.
I cannot say for certain. This is all unknown territory to us. Yet whatever happens, it cannot be good.
It was Thancred? Oh.
Mercifully, the instability is still only slight. And you may rest assured Master Matoya and I will do everything in our power to keep it from worsening. Be that as it may, it is imperative that you find a way to restore our friends' souls to their bodies.
Okay. Leave it to me.
Thank you.
But where's she even supposed to start? We had the greatest minds in the realm hunting high and low for an answer, and they ran out of places to look.
I mean, I could go back.
You stated in your report that the Exarch had originally intended to reverse the summoning process by means of his own death, correct? Raha always was a reckless young fool, ready to die for the first righteous cause that came along.
Did she call him Raha? Oh.
His plan might well have worked, but I, for one, am glad he never had the opportunity to see it through.
It's so sweet.
Even if it does mean our friends must remain stranded a while longer. There is another way, I am sure of it. And the key lies with him, with the Exarch. Pray return to the First and apprise him and the others of the situation.
I have not heard anyone say that in so freaking long. I've heard Mutts needs like so many times. Pray return, y'all. Pray freaking return. Cheers. Just my lemonade. For Miko, dropping the first letter is a... Oh, it's a mark of closeness. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, so close to the drop the D. Oh, stop. I'm gonna cry now. Why do you tell me this
We,
information?
meanwhile, will do what we can from here. And, if the fates are kind, we will have good news to share upon your return.
Okay. I gotta go back to Norvrant. Norvrant. Are you joking? No, you gotta be joking. Barely? I swear to God. It's not. I literally don't even know if you're joking with me. Like, I literally can't tell if you're joking though. Like, Tia means not breeder. That's insane. God. I can't. Hi, bestie. It's 100% for real. Oh my God. But the name's with Tia. Aw. Their corporal aether is believed by the gods possibly occurred to me. Okay. I mean, that's what you're told. Like, congratulations. Congrats. Look at the pals. Where's Urianger? Is he still washed up on the shore? My friend's name is Tia! Oh my God, please. Oh, there he is. He just takes a little bit. He takes a little bit to get here, you know?
Pray excuse my late arrival.
Pray, excuse.
Will Thancred and Reen not be joining us?
Nay, milady. With apologies to all, they beg leave to pursue their investigation of the empty to its conclusion. Should matters here demand their presence, however, they did assure me that they would make themselves available.
Sweet.
Yes, of course. Then let us proceed.
Yes, of course. Yes, of course.
I think it best that you begin by providing a summary of Mistress Kryle's findings.
Why is my hair doing that? Like, it, like, separates right there. That's so... Hold on. It's annoying me. You ever just have your things that annoy you? That's one of them. Profound Words by K. Arton. Anyways. It's a rebel. It is. It is. It doesn't want to stick together with the other hair, and I don't know why.
I suppose it was only to be expected that some change would occur.
Yet our souls seem unaffected, to my eye at least. How long they will remain so is another question. Kryl is right. It is imperative we find a way to return to the source.
To the source. To the source.
Perhaps an explanation of the method by which I brought you here will yield some inspiration.
Yeah, that could help.
Ere I begin, it must be noted that I am by no means a gifted mage. In order to employ powerful magics, I must rely upon the Crystal Tower and its boundless reservoirs of energy.
Okay, awesome. My DoorDash is here. I swear, sometimes...
The magic that summons
Never mind,
you
I
is
won't
no
go on
exception.
about it.
'Tis a singular spell, adapted through painstaking effort from the technique that transported me to the first.
Pray return to the sauce. So real. Also, y'all are gonna love me. I am gonna go get my food. Y'all get to see Graha up close. Lovely. Love to see it. Amazing. I'm gonna go get my food. Feel free to do your checks. I need to eat, so we're gonna do that. Ooh. Not 21% stinky. 20. Whoa. Okay, my ID check has to be better than that. Okay, that's better. Alright, I'll be right back. No fooling around, no messing around, no nothing while I'm gone. Y'all know the drill. If I come back and I see some stinkiness, it's over. It's over. Anyways, I'll be right back. I'm back. I got my food. I'm back and I got my food. I'm so excited. Oops, let me not get my shrimp egg roll on the ground. Okay. Hi, pals. I hope y'all had a good break. Welcome back. We're gonna continue on with the cutscene. I apologize for having to stop in the middle of it, but you know, it is how it is. The food was here and I couldn't wait because I'm hungry. So, food ASMR, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, no food ASMR. I'm just joking about that. I don't like ASMR. Okay, let me continue.
To use an analogy, it works by cutting a hole in the fabric of reality. A hole tailored to the object of summoning, through which it and it alone may pass unscathed.
That's so good. What did you end up getting? I ended up getting Chinese food. I got veggie lo mein, sesame tofu, and a shrimp egg roll. Because I haven't had this in a while, and every so often I'm like, oh, yes. This place is literally my favorite too. It's so good. Get rid of my hair. No, it'd probably be easier to just put it in a ponytail behind me. You know, that'd probably be the easiest thing, but you know. Anyways, enjoyed Raha's Fate. I'm glad. I'm glad you did.
Though I
It is good.
succeeded in creating said hole, I failed to latch onto my intended target. Instead of you, the spell found those close to you, and ended up summoning them in their incomplete state. I would not soon throw my life away. Not after the lengths you and yours went to save it.
As you shouldn't.
And so long as I breathe, I will spare no effort to see you safely home.
Yay! Let's get
But
home.
should all else fail, and your lives be at stake, there remains one sure method.
Don't even say that. Don't even say that.
Oh. What was that for?
I love her. I love her
How can you
so
even
much.
entertain such thoughts?
I love her
You owe
so
your
much.
life to the Warrior of Light, and you don't get to die unless she says so.
I love Alice with my whole freaking heart. That's so fucking funny. She just flicked him in the forehead. I started out with New Raid. They've done it one single time. Oh no, Bev. Oh no.
Your followers await your divine judgment.
Why was her voice so loud compared to everyone else? Oh my god.
What did you just...
But she called them followers. Hee hee.
If the two of you have finished, perhaps we could return to our discussion? Rather than dwelling upon the multiple failed attempts at transference, I think it would behoove us to focus on the solitary success.
Behoove.
I would draw your attention to the fact that our friend can travel between worlds possessed not only of her body and soul,
Yep.
but her personal effects besides.
Yeah.
This is no different from the teleportation magics to which we are all accustomed. Magics that allow for the transportation of those inanimate objects one considers to be an extension of oneself.
Are you suggesting that simply by considering us her possessions, she could carry our souls back to the source upon her person?
That's weird. But you know, if that's what it takes, I guess you're now my possessions. I always, me too. These just keep popping up in mid-cutscene. Oh, that's so awful bad. It's not it's Labyrinth. Not sure if I'm joking or not. Is it actually Labyrinth?
Well, it would be nice if things were that simple for a change. But vague notions of ownership seem a rather tenuous thing to stake our lives on. So much as a moment of doubt on her part and we'd be left floating in the rift.
Milady hath the right of it. The requisite fixity of belief would be too much to ask even of our friend. Yet were we to immure our souls within an object in her possession, mayhap then our safe passage could be assured.
This is such a weird plan. Are they gonna put their souls in an object and I'm gonna bring them back? Like, what the fuck? Oh, but I'm not sure if it qualifies as good news, so that makes sense.
White Auracite would, I believe, serve as a suitable vessel for this purpose. It was conceived to imprison the massy soul of an Ascian, and should house one of ours with relative ease.
Mm-hmm.
We would need only to ensure our soul's safe preservation inside the stone, and identify a means by which they might be transferred back unto our vacant bodies.
I mean, I guess that makes sense.
Preservation and transference. I believe I know of someone who may be able to assist us.
Oh? Who are you thinking, Graha?
On the far shore of the source, there stands a great palace built by the elves.
I'm trying to break this broccoli off. I'm so bad at multitasking, can y'all tell?
It was forsaken in the wake of the flood, but a certain Numo chose to make their home there soon after. Though they have long lived as a recluse, they once occupied a place of honor in Velbert's royal court, and it is said that none in all of Norvrant is more knowledgeable than they on matters of the soul.
I feel like in a cloak.
Well, I've no objection to seeking a helping hand, but if they've gone to such lengths to hide themselves away from the world, what makes you think they'd be willing to lend us one?
That is true.
A worthy question. Years ago, I myself tried and failed to solicit their cooperation in the battle against the Sin Eaters. No sooner had I begun to make my plea than they unleashed a swarm of their familiars upon me. Unlike me, however, you have curried favor with the Faithfolk. By that merit alone, I am hopeful that they would grant you an audience. They may still be inclined to turn you away, of course, but if their knowledge might feasibly facilitate your return home, we have to
Sorry, we have to try. Yes. True, Graha. Very true. What does Yoda say? Something about try? Like... I forget the Yoda quote. Oh, I'm losing it. Yoda try quote. Do or do not, there is no try, that's it. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Do or do not, there is no try. A grand adventure. A grand adventure. Okay. I'm gonna ask you to meet me in the Sullen. Okay. Oh, he's bowing over here. Urianger is, that is. Alright, bye, bye, Urianger. I can't speak. Oh my god. And now it's med time. And now it's med time. I'm sorry, y'all. My apologies. My apologies. I feel like some days I spend more time doing anything else other than MSQ, and I feel so bad because I want to do MSQ, but it's like so many things just keep popping up. I need food. I need to take my meds. Give me 2 seconds. Okay. Make sure y'all are taking your care of yourselves as well. Very important to do that. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves, y'all. Okay. Where are we going? I'm going this way. Go all the way up here. And then we just... Oh, I can go over there. There we go. Okay, awesome. Love that, because I can eat while this is going. Yeah. This food is so freaking good. I just can't get over it. Like, try not to chew in your ear either. Okay. Let's see what y'all gotta say over here. Oh my god, the music. As I told you before, I'd scarcely set foot in a place on the palace grounds. But I was set upon by our host familiars, and I expect our reception today to be no different, which is why I propose that we march through the main gate up in Strawn. I'm sorry, but are we not here to petition for assistance? I can't honestly think I'm barging in looking for a fight is going to persuade them. I love this music too. It's so good. Actually, I believe the Exarch might have the right of it. They have no doubt poured a great deal of time and energy into their creations, where I then should be most interested to meet with those who could overcome my defenses. As would any true seeker of knowledge, and there is little we can say or do to convince them to help us. We know nothing of their character, nor less why they choose to hide themselves from the world. But if we can seize their interest, mayhap we can earn ourselves an audience. Yar. Weapons drawn it is, then. Though I must say, Exarch, you certainly seem to be enjoying all of this. Do I? Well, I do not deny that I enjoyed the thought of fighting alongside you all rather than pacing around inside the Crystal Tower. You both seem to be in rather high spirits. If you ask me, not that I'm surprised, your moves invariably improve when Kate is around. What are you implying? She averted a calamity, and the light which seemed destined to consume her has extinguished. It is only natural that we are pleased to see her. Yes, well, you should have plenty of time to celebrate her good health after we finish here. Of course. Let us proceed to the palace. Okay. Oh! It's a dungeon! Anyone want to join? I didn't think we were gonna go in a dungeon this early. Damn. I didn't think we were dungeoning it up now. Still in Labyrinth? It's okay. I think Barely said that they wanted to join. Cannot locate a player of that name. Did barely get kicked out. Barely got kicked out. Or anyone want to do a dungeon? If not, that's okay. If not, that's okay. I can't. Okay, Crystal, let's get you in here. Let's go. Let's go. Anybody else want to join? Yeah, room for 2 more. 2 more. Oh, they're all looking at me. Oh, they're all looking at me. They're all looking at me. Oh my god. Oh my god. They're staring me down. My goodness. Alright. 2 more bosses? I mean, that gives me time to eat. Oh my god. You know what I can do? While we're waiting. I never finished this. Oh, jeez, hold on. I'm so sorry. I am a mess today. Oh, I don't want to small talk. I'm okay. I'm a mess today. Oh, I apologize. Your girl's kind of been going through it a little bit, but we're getting through it as best as we can. Where am I going? I'm going. I also need to finish this so I can. Jeez. I don't want to finish that now. I need to finish this. You know what? No. Do I need people? Yes, Nano, we do. We need people. I can join, okay. Where are you? Where are you? You have to hop over still. And I'm so sorry. I cannot sleep. Cannot think tonight. I don't see you on here. I might have missed you though. All good, barely. That's okay. That's okay. That is very true. If you're seeking invite, send me a tell, and that'll be the easiest way for me to get you in there. That is very true. Because my friends list is like ridiculously long. Like this is ridiculous, quite honestly. Like it's still going. This is I appreciate y'all being my friends, but oh my god, it's so hard to look for y'all on here. It's so hard to look for y'all on here. I'm like, where are you? Logging in? Okay. By the time you log in, Beth will be out of Labyrinth, and then we can have a full party. Like, look at that. Look how that played out. Look at that, gamers. Almost free. I'm gonna go swim. I'm gonna go underwater. No, because this is so scary. This looks like the drop-off, like, off of the back of the Aurora, like, in Subnautica. If y'all play Subnautica, do you know what I'm talking about? Like, in the drop-off in the back where all the Leviathans are? That's scary to me, and this is reminding me of that. Like, what is this? It's just an aetheryte crystal, but still, like, I can't see what's going on. That's scary. Oh, I can't keep going. Well, where you only hear the sound. Ah, I hate it. I hate it. Until they're on top of you. Yeah, looking for a hug. Yup. Yup. Exactly, Nano. Exactly. And I hate it. It actually makes me want to stop. Should we do that? A day where I play Subnautica and y'all just watch me, like, have a fear of the ocean the whole time? That would be fun. That'd be so fun. For, like, an incentive or something. I invited you. I invited you, Nano. Okay. Beth is out. Beth can be invited. Hi, Nintendo. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. How are you? Hello, this is Nano. Hello, Nano. I'm gonna mute really quickly. Yes, I am. I want my egg roll so bad. I literally just like, I need it. But yeah, I am DPSing. I am DPSing. I can heal. I'll heal. That's okay. I can heal. That's okay. I got the healing. I got the healing. We good? Okay, awesome. Let's go. The Grand Cosmos. I just gotta remember I'm healing. That's the key. That's the key to this. Remember that you're healing, you know? Hello? Oh, I don't like his little fingies. I don't like the fingies. I'm so ready. I'm so ready. I remember how to heal. I remember how to heal. I'm such a good healer. I just accidentally cure one you. I'm so sorry. I like don't remember how to do anything. Quite honestly. This is bad. Like, why don't I remember how to do this? What is this one? Ah. I thought I... There we go. Give me that blood lily. Yeah, there's brooms. Everyone sweep. Whoa. I've really lost my healing edge. This is so sad. Wait, I'm frozen. I am frozen? What is healing? I don't know. I don't know heal. I don't know how to heal. Yay! This is pretty though, this place. Very cool. Ooh, like castle looking thing. Oh, here. I hate the thingies. Ow. Okay, that's just rude. That was just rude. Don't push me around like that. Oh, that's me. Right. that's a beautiful spell. I've never used this shift 6 one before. It's so nice. Oh my god. Ow. Oh my god. Okay, actually, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Well. I apologize. No way! That was a one and done? You got this, Grass Toucher! It's so close! You got it! You got it! You're so gamer! You're such a gamer! Oh, NT. That guy is annoying. Wait, am I... Ask me if I want to return to it. Should I have returned? Yeah, you did so well, Grass Toucher. You were gaming. Should I have accepted that? Here we go. Alright. Chivalric Spear. Chivalry. Alright. Got a glare on him. Time to glare on him. These freaking brooms! The freaking brooms! I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. I hate it here. Y'all, I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm gonna die again. I'm gonna die again! Oh my god, I'm going so slow. Why am I on death's bed? Why am I... Why is this gamer so annoying? Come on! Give me a lily! I swear to God, if I die again, I am so determined not to die. These brooms are gonna be my worst enemies. These brooms are my worst enemies. I hate them. Oh my god. I didn't even see them. I was so focused on helping. I'm not even looking at what I'm doing. I'm focused on y'all. I love healing. I like it when I remember what I'm doing. I just have not healed in forever. It's been so long. You could say Kate was swept away. Please, I swear. Where are they going? Hello? Hello? Why'd they just all go over the grass section? Yes, it's so pretty. I did a Jeep. Really? It's so pretty. It's very, very pretty. It's giving, like, Yulmore vibes, of course. You know. Oh, sorry, Beth. Oh, wait, never mind. I thought I holied, but I didn't holy, so never mind. I take back. I have nothing to be sorry for. I got nothing to be sorry for. Actually. Except almost letting you die. Everything's fine. You died. Fuck. Why is everyone dying? Fuck, I gotta save that before I kill you. Oh, it's gonna raise you. That's okay though. We wait for Grass Toucher. Oh wait, yeah, Vanderbilt it. Close enough. Close enough. I was like, when it comes up, really? This one does? Or the boss, like the whole, like the end boss does? There we go. End boss, okay. Flare on him. What, do we want to move the seats? Fuck, I think we want to move the seats. Shoot! I didn't get to the seat in time. I'm doing so well. This is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is cool. I think all the seats are in the right spot. Oh shit. Oh damn it! They got. Oh, I didn't real. Oh! Oh, we were supposed to account for. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Yeah. This one's a toughie. Indeed. This one's tough. It's a tough dungeon. This one's a toughie. You're okay, Nano. It's all good. You're all good. Gives us a little bit more of a tour of the scenery here. Pretty scenery. God, I wish we could just cut through this part. That'd be so nice. I cannot, in fact, walk on the curb. This is homophobic. Y'all going right away with it all. I got this one. Yeah, you got that one. Okay, awesome. Awesome! God, the buttons. I'm trying to button so many buttons and it's hard. It's very hard. This one is gonna make it go this way, so we need to bring this one here, right? Yeah. Awesome. Big brain! We're so big brain! Fuck. It's always that last fucking part. It's always that last part. It's just always the last part. Oh, y'all got it though. I'll be there in a minute. It's always the last freaking part. Where I just don't, I can't do it. Jeez Louise. Nice. Thanks, Wild. I appreciate it. Awesome. I got my wings. Everything will be okay. Oh, time to eat. Alrighty. Get stunned! Get stunned! Get stunned on! Nice. Oh god. There's more. Hi, Whippy, welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Just got home from work. Oh my gosh. I hope work was okay. I hope work was good. I started work today at 7 a.m.? What the heck? Wait, look at all them. And you just got home? Is it 9:40 where you were? So that's how late it is for me. I hate the thingies. I hate the fingies. It's gross. 8:40. I started at 6 my time. Oh my gosh. Wow. That's a long work day. I hope you're able to get some rest. That's fun. Tentacle fingies? I don't like them. I in fact hate them. Are we gonna... They're all dancing. Are you telling me that those things are... Can you hurt those things? Hello? Ah! I'm just gonna already. Yeah. No, yeah. No, yeah. No, yeah. I love it. Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love dying right away. It's my favorite thing ever. It's a cool boss fight. Yeah. So cool. Very awesome. Very cool. Very demure. Very mindful, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. What do we think of probably not Ishgard? 2? I don't know. Is this probably not Ishgard? It's pretty. It's pretty. Probably. Yeah, that makes sense. It's like the first version of Ishgard, which makes sense. Beth's here. Yay, Nana's here. Yay, Garth's here. Okay, we go again. I didn't mean to dash. Shit. Shit. That's so fun. No, because that's so fun. I really do apologize. I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I don't even know what mechanic it was. I didn't even see. I didn't even see what happened. I didn't even see how or when I died. The blue fire, I didn't even know that I had that on me. was the one that got me that time. I was on fire. I didn't even see. I didn't even see. Third time's a charm, high grass toucher. And I dig my hole? What are you talking? Are you a Lalafell now? Or is that something else? Oh, you run into the furniture. Oh. Okay. Ugh, this is so frustrating. Yeah, Nano knew where you were going, but I have no idea what you mean. I have absolutely no idea what you mean. You have thought of Lala a few times? Yeah, I am. Is it Kirito or Kirito? Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. I hope I pronounced that right. I hope you're doing well. I am having troubles. I am having trouble. Blue flames run to furniture. Swords. Be close to each other and turn away the 90-degree cones. The 90 cone doesn't hurt you? Okay. I might know what that means. We can try it. Well, now I know blue fire run into furniture, so that's good. Yeah. Red flame, run away, and then run from the... Ah, this is so much information! I'm feeling so overwhelmed right now. When he does the swords, he'll give you a sword number. Okay. Forward 90 degree. Okay. Swords number are on you. Number of the box is going to attack you. Okay. First one is the one you say? Okay, Kirito. Got you. Oh my god. Okay. What's an order from 1 to 4? 1 being the first. I'm gonna be honest, this is too much information for my brain to handle right now. I'm gonna try my best. I say we just go for it. I'll try my best. I'm not gonna know all of them right away. I'm gonna go with the information that I've got right now, and if we die again, then we can try, I can learn more. But for right now, I literally cannot take in any more information. I literally can't. I literally can't. Like, my brain is like so fried right now. My brain is so fried. Throw all your heals on yourself. No, but that. It's hard. I just finished it. You just finished a few hours ago. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah. With glory and gusto, so true. We got this. We got this. Okay, listen. Listen, I might feel like crying right now, but I'm not going to. We got it. Oh. Up, up. Everyone just die. Everyone die. We start over. We start over. Everyone just die. Everyone just... This fucking... Dude, now I'm pissed. Now I'm fucking pissed. so well. Yes, we have merch now. We have merch now, which is really cool. If y'all want to buy some merch, thanks for reminding me, SC. If y'all want to buy some merch, I just dropped it today at 6:30 p.m. So like 3 hours ago. Yeah, it's some cool stuff on there if you want to get it. An alert goes on screen when you order some. And you can also gift some to Twitch chat for like a little giveaway if you want to do that too. Which is really cool. But yeah. Yeah, the first one watched, yeah, I always try, Beth. I try, and I look to see where he's going with that one. I seriously just think my reaction time right now just isn't there. Like, I'm usually good reaction time-wise, but right now I'm just not with it. It could be, you know, I don't know. I'm just, It's also like I'm trying to juggle like healing y'all at the same time, so it's very tough to like see what he's doing, then look over here at the same time and like make sure y'all are like also like fine. It's very hard. It's very hard. Yeah. Yeah. We'll see. We'll try it one or two more times, and then if not, I might give it a back burner. This is kind of, you know. Left? Which side is that? Okay, I'm just gonna follow y'all. Because it's his left, but it's our right. That's why it confuses me. Okay. But the fact that that's an instant death is actually kind of insane. Like, why is that an instant death? Also, how did I get hit there? Like, I quite honestly don't know. Fuck, I see. I'm on fire, I'm on fire. Oh my god. Jesus. Do I run away as far as I can? Is that what I do? Fuck. Oh my god. Oh my god, I'm alive. I'm alive. Shit. That shield on you, you're good. I'm so focused right now. That's his left, so we go over here. Okay, I'm getting the hang of it. Jesus Christ, dude. left, okay. I always gotta remember, it's his left, not for where my camera is. Oh, I'm first, okay, I'm running. Fuck that dungeon. Phew, I'm glad we're done with being done and over. Yeah, you can say that twice, Allie. Not Allie, oh my god. Alfie. Alfie. Thanks for helping, pals. I appreciate. Oh, I just hit run instead of snooze. Oh my god. Y'all are gonna see an ad in a second. I won't do any of this cutscene without y'all, I promise. Give me 2 seconds.
That was my fiercest familiar. Oh, impressive.
I hate the voice. I hate the voice. I hate the voice. I always do that where I mean to like do don't run a cutscene and it runs the cutscene and I'm like, you're joking. Not the cutscene. Oh my god, the ad. When I run the ad. Like, please, no. Please, no. I'm okay. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Thanks for the hype and cheering me on. I appreciate it. Also, Essie, I can't remember if I say I hope you're doing well. I do hope you're doing well, pal. Welcome in. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Blue flames, grand total 2 times during the fight. Ew, okay, good to know, good to know. The brain is braining today. I literally... I had, like, a really, really, really rough day yesterday. And, like, that really... like, made my brain just not be able to function for like the past like 24 hours. It's been over 24 hours, but like for the last day or two, yesterday and today, like my brain just like can't function. And also of course the residuals of that. So I'm just kind of, I'm going through it, but I'm trying to stream and I wanted to stream today because like the announcement that I had for y'all, but it's hard. If y'all don't know, content warning, anxiety. We'll be talking about that for a second because I feel like it's just talk about it because I want to destigmatize this type of thing, and also I think it's important to talk about your mental health. But if you aren't comfortable about talking about anxiety right now, you should probably head out for a couple minutes. But unfortunately, I did have a panic attack yesterday, anxiety attack. That was not fun. And it's kind of just left my brain like totally like just not feeling the best. And just like my body like feels like exhausted from it yesterday. I'm not gonna go into detail how it went down, but like if my brain seems a little not with it, that's the reason why. Yeah, thank you Beth. If my brain doesn't see a little bit not with it, that's the reason why. I forgot people were nuts. But yeah, if it seems off, I did have a panic attack yesterday, so not the best. And like I said when I was in the ad, I'm talking about this because I want to destigmatize it and also want to be transparent, and I think it's important to talk about your mental health. And that I do deal with anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder, and I think it's important to talk about. But I won't get into the details of it, of course, but if my brain doesn't seem with it, that's why. I'm still recovering, and I'm still trying to get back to a little bit more normalcy, but you know, it is what it is, and I'm trying my best. So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all, you know, sticking with me through that and like cheering me on, because it means more than you know. Because you know, people can on the outside look like they're happy, look like they're having a great time, but in reality, it's like it can be tough. So I appreciate y'all. Thank you. But yeah, that's my whole spiel, I guess. I don't know. I put it in the Discord, so that's why I thought I'd talk about it now, but I'm doing better than yesterday. Still on the up, though. It's been rough, so I'm trying my best. But my brain is not with it right now because of that. So if you're wondering, like, why can she not speak or talk or do anything? It's like, oh, that's why. You know. To be honest, I don't know. I wanted to stream today, but I think if I didn't have the announcement, I probably wouldn't have, but just because I probably needed another day of rest. But I can save that for tomorrow. But I appreciate y'all a lot. That's just a little inside to my brain, I guess. I don't know. Esme, hello, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid. What the heck? Hi, Raiders. How's it going? Welcome in. I hope you're doing so well. If you don't know me, my name is Kate or Kayota. You can call me either. I use she, they pronouns. I'm a queer variety streamer on Twitch, full variety, but I mostly play Final Fantasy now. I mostly play Final Fantasy now. It's fine. But yeah, I hope y'all are doing well. Welcome in, Esme. I hope your stream was amazing. Is it Anihari? Welcome in. I hope I pronounced that right. I think it's Anihari. Let me know. I want to correctly pronounce your name, but Esme also welcome in. And Final Sword, hello. I hope y'all are doing well. What were you up to? What were you gaming? We do a variety of activities in Final Fantasy 14. Real. My brain is also not braining today. We are all in this together, pals. Yeah. I appreciate your kind words, though, y'all. Thank you. Thank you. Coding for 12 hours today? Jeez Louise, please take care of your brain. That is a lot of coding. Before I log off, yes. Yes. Playing Fairy Tail Dungeons! Ooh, tried some Final Fantasy 14, but the game crashed. Ugh. It's a DDoS attacks. I somehow, knock on wood, have not disconnected. I don't know how, but it's just... It is what it is. But I hope the Fairy Tail Dungeons was fun. I don't know if I've ever heard of that game. I thought that's what it was? Yeah. I think like the Lodestone put it out or something. Someone, Final Fantasy confirmed it. Oh, it's our buddy! Wait! Our little pal! I love these guys!
Backlogue, 'tis good to see you again after all these years.
I love these guys! They're so cute!
And judging by your vigorous greeting, I dare say the feeling is mutual. To be sure, a simple shake of the hand would have sufficed by way of welcome, but I shan't complain. But you must be wondering as to the purpose of our visit. We come to beg your assistance in a most urgent matter.
Backlog. Also, if anyone has to read run.
Sake? Beg?
If anyone has to raid and run, please feel free to. I totally understand. Take care of yourself. Do what you gotta do after stream. But I greatly appreciate the raid. Thanks, y'all. I appreciate it. It's such a cute voice, too. What the heck?
Our comrades' very souls are in danger. If we are to save them, we will need the benefit of your unsurpassed knowledge on the matter. Please, will you not sit and hear our plea?
Oh.
Oh, how dare you! How dare you speak thus in my presence!
He's fine. I can't. He's literally the actually. Like, what do we have? We have the cat nerd emote. That's literally him. The cat nerd from BTTV. This is literally Becklug.
It was to escape such words of temptation that I hid myself from the world of men. You are sinners, one and all, and I swore never again to have any part in your affairs.
I can only imagine what terrible events forced you into a life of seclusion.
Yeah.
But I know that the Numo are a good and noble folk.
Yeah.
It is not in your nature to turn a blind eye to the plight of those around you.
Yeah.
And in treating with us, I am certain whatever mistrust you feel for man will begin to heal.
Do y'all know that TikTok sound that goes, yeah, yeah, from Gravity Falls? I just got reminded of it. I don't know why, but that's, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Uh-oh, earthquake. Hello?
If you will not be satisfied, I suppose I could listen.
You
After
do,
all,
Esme?
there's
It's
no
so
harm
good.
in just...
It's so good.
No, I mustn't. Not again.
I love the voice.
That damn court mage seemed to have the best of intentions too, and countless innocents died for my naivety.
Aww. Poor Becklug.
You know not what you ask of me, what horrors my knowledge has wrought.
We would never misuse it.
You wish only to save your friends? Nothing more?
Yeah, only to save the pals. Only to save the pals.
Do you swear it?
We swear it, bestie.
No. No.
I swear. On Louis Schwa, I swear.
Oh, very well. I will hear your petition, but that is all. And I expect fitting payment for my troubles.
Commensurate with your contribution to our cause. No more and no less, I promise you. With that settled, might I impose upon you to join us at the Crystarium? I'm afraid the nature of my friend's predicament calls for absolute secrecy.
More like best lug. Real grass toucher. So true. We love Becklug. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, it's talking about whatever. I'm good. Okay, Gabby. I love healing, but Jesus, that was awful. That was awful. Okay. Where am I going? The Crystarium? Okay. It's all good. I understand why I had to heal. I understand. I don't have... my gunbreaker is getting close to 80, so I could have tanked it too, like soon, if I did it like after that. But you know, I'm not there yet. I'm not there yet. So, gotta deal. It's always interesting. Esme, I literally wanted to cry. Like, quite honestly, if we didn't beat that boss the 4th time, I actually think I would have started crying. Like, no joke. Tears were welling up behind my eyes. We'll get that out of the, yeah, you know, we will. Like, I'm not even joking. Is my gear bad? That could be it. I can buy... Oh my god, I can buy the new gear. Oh my god, I can buy the new gear. I can buy the new gear. I forgot. I can buy the new gear now. I forgot. I completely forgot. That's why. Because I was still on level 70 gear. Uh-huh. That was it. That was it.
I'm sorry.
That's a good catch, Grass.
You mean to tell me not only that the return of night was your doing,
it was our
but
doing.
that you hail from another world as well?
Yes, indeed.
Everything we told you, of the source, the shards, the 7 umbral calamities, all of it is true. I realize how fantastical it sounds, and I would not blame you for doubting our testimony. But given your expertise, you must surely have noted the peculiar nature of their souls.
Any other time and I would have dismissed your stories as balderdash and flummery. But
balderdash and flubbery.
Tis plain their souls are far
Flummery,
denser
sorry.
than is normal, and that they do not possess true bodies.
I swear I thought it sounded like Beckluck just said flubbery. Balderdash and flubbery. Did you do the underlevel gear? Yeah, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. I forget that we had new tombstone gear. That was my fault.
Your body is your own. And your soul is the densest of them all.
That would be true.
As I said before, were it not for their heroism, the skies over Norvrant would still be awash with light, the realm yet at the mercy of Vorthri and the Sin Eaters. After all they have done for our home, seeing them safely back to their own, it seems the very least we can do.
There's free artifact here? How do I get that? Let's see if that was it. Dang. And the guy under the sea? Is it the knockoff, the got the gear from before?
Your tale is intriguing. Yes, very intriguing indeed. Simply to hear it is fitting payment in itself.
From good. There we go. I know what you're talking about now.
Friends, I can but agree. Their valorous deeds on behalf of Norvrant are deserving of recognition, of their own fitting payment.
No, who is the shirtless girl? Not under the sea. SpongeBob SquarePants. Sorry.
You will help us then?
I will help you. You will help us.
I will.
Yay!
I would see my knowledge put to good use for a change.
Yay!
I do have one condition, however. I am not the spry young Numo I once was. As such, I will require assistance in my fieldwork and testing.
Yeah, of course. Of course, bestie.
It would be our pleasure. We'll be laboring for our own benefit after all.
Mm-hmm. Yay! I love love the Numo. The Numo are so cute. I love them. Sorry, Becklug. I gotta get out of here, and then I'm gonna go to Grinault under the sea, SpongeBob SquarePants, you know? I'm gonna ignore what you just said. I'm gonna choose to ignore what I am seeing in my chat right now. I think also Eddie would be so sad that I watched it without him being here when he was the one who sent it to me. So, you know, wait, where is it again? Where is he again? He's over here, right? This is him. That's him. Yeah. Okay. I'm going. I can fly. I can fly. Oh yeah, that's definitely him. Does that just go up? It just goes up. Shaking my SMH. Shaking my SMH. I've heard SMH in my head, but I have not heard shaking my SMH. That's so good. I love that. Adding that one to my list. Welcome in, Hazy. I hope you're doing well. How are you? How's it going? I like that better, I think. Me too. Shaking my SMH. That's so good. That's so good. Oh my god. Is it just free? This shit's just free? I'm not used to this luxury. What the fuck? Hello? I know this is probably causing you a lot of pain, a lot of people a lot of pain for inventory management, but please, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, okay? Oh my god, that's stunning. No, that's stunning. No, this is, oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Prepare to be sick of me, because, like, I look so fucking cute. Like, excuse me? Excuse me? Like, no one can talk to me right now. Like, no one can talk to me. Holy shit. Like, look how cute that is. I gotta change the background color now, though. What color do I do? Pretty. Oh god, no. The Four Lords. This is important. Don't question it. This is very important stuff. Do not question. I will not be taking any questions from anybody. Thanks. I do have to get a glamour plate that I do like my dancer weapon that I do have though, so I'm gonna have to do that. But dyeing it isn't free, is it not? You can't dye. Oh, you can't dye it. It's okay though, because I literally have this, I literally was wearing the same, almost the same outfit before. Just a couple little add-ons that I didn't have. But now I have. And they're red. Cause like, where's my glamour plates? I can't show you my glamour plates right now. This is homophobic. Anyways, y'all know what I was wearing before. So. Yar. Does he not have anything for my healer? Does he not have anything for my healer? Dying is free, please. Also, thank you for the follow, AC. I appreciate it. Oh, hey, C's your friend Z. Oh, I love that. I like your stream. Wait, that's so cute. Thanks. What the heck? We love friends. Yeah. I hear Richard. Oh, that's so sweet. What the heck? Mostly chill, sometimes chaotic. If you consider bonking everybody and screaming when I get frustrated and scared in this game, sure. You know? That's fine. And crying constantly, because this game loves to do that, then yeah. I'm definitely chill. But always, you know something? No. Nor. Oh, I need to finish the role quest. Oh. Wow. Guess what's next on my list? That. Let me buy this for this, though. There is nothing to display. What do you mean there's nothing to display? Oh, because it's freaking Picto, that's why. Oh my god. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I'm fine. I love it here. I love my life. I love it. I love it. It's entertaining chaos. Thanks. I mean, also here for chaos. Let's freaking go. Let's freaking go. I think almost everyone in this stream has gotten bonked. That, just like the bonk button, you know. Bedtime for you. I hope today what been good. It has been. Thanks for being here, Barely. I hope you have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. And we're definitely gonna be watching. We gotta watch The Princess Bride on Saturday, y'all. I'll put out the poll tomorrow. We're gonna watch The Princess Bride on Saturday because I want to watch The Princess Bride because Beth has never seen The Princess Bride and we gotta watch The Princess Bride. Okay, listen. Listen, we have to. So join the Discord if you want to watch that with us. Good night, Barely. I'm perfectly innocent. I've never gotten bonked. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely never got bonked. But like, actually be prepared to be sick of me because this is such a good outfit. I can't. I gotta go back to Gridania though. I gotta put the weapons on their own thing. Their own glamour plates so that I can have my weapons still because I like those weapons. I maybe go shopping for more weapons. Thank you for that. Awa. What if we went shopping for more weapons? What weapons can I get now? I got 3 mil to spend, y'all. Let me spend my 3 mil. I know that 3 mil could go towards a new free company house, but like, why free company house when I can buy weapon pretty? When I can buy pretty weapon, you know? Where is Dancer? Right here. Ooh, pretty weapon. Yo! So pretty. Wait, the butterflies. Stop. Those are yours. I love them. These are sick. Not feeling those. Shinryu has one? The Shinryu has the Shinryu weapons? And these are the ones I have now. I think we need a little upgrade, don't you think? These are probably eggs. Oh my god. Titania stuff for all the Fae weapons? Yes, but I need the Grumbreaker one. That sounds amazing. I could do some Titania. I also want to do it to get a thing to trade with the beaver. There's a beaver? The trade with the beaver, yes. Titania glowing weapons are top tier. I bet Titania goes so fast. Now at 100. Ooh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I didn't even think about that. They're just trying to give me those. As they should. Bring a few pictures in and it's back down. Real. But also, what if I just bought this right now? No one say a fuck. Hold on. Okay. I was about to hit send. I was about to hit go. I was about to be like, I'm ready to go. I'm ready. Those are interesting. What gunbreaker weapons can I get right now? I'm curious. Curious. Where's the Z? There it is. Nothing much. Gunblade of the round. Why? Did they must have went back and given every single, yeah. 100k cheaper? Is it worth it? Whoa, that's cool. Probably most definitely worth it, but like... There's not much... There's not much that I can get right now with that. I don't know why I even looked. Whoa! No, that's sick as hell! That's so cool! Oh, I didn't mean to favorite it. Wow! Those are so cool! You're sick as hell? What do you mean? Oh, Eddie gave me this one. I have this one. I have this cane. Facts? Y'all are too nice to me. Thank you. Okay, but the Shinryu weapons are kind of sick, I'm not gonna lie. I do like Tatiana's better, though. What is it? Item not even found. Like, that's how... So that's okay. That's a paintbrush. That's a paintbrush. Let's look at some fishing rods, everybody. This is what we've all come here for. Fishing rods. Yeah. Grass dodger? Really? So y'all agree you really want to open the things? I am fighting the urge to hit the bonk button so bad right now. But I will say thank you. And I will accept the compliment, and I will not say anything else about it. I'll be like, thanks. Thank you. And I won't do anything else.
Bonk.
Now. Beth, thank you for the 1 biddy. Thanks for the bonk. Appreciate it. I would love the Fey Crown Tantalums. That's what I want. But Grass Toucher, do you mind if we do that this weekend? Because I have to go put my food away, and maybe want to end stream a little bit. Or maybe I could just go put my food away and then come back and then we can do it. If you can do it right now. Or should we wrap up? I don't know. My food's just kind of sitting here and I need to put it away. It's up to you. I know it's very late for you there, Grass Toucher, so I don't also want to keep you. I'll do it now then? Okay. Okay, well... Jesus! Every time, Dawn Trail jump scare. Dawn Trail jump scare. Dawn Trail jump scare. Wait, what did it just do? Why did it just do that? Is it another data? I'm just gonna put away my food. I'm just gonna go put away my food. I'm gonna log in, log out, and then try again. You know, it's fine. Behave while I'm gone. Now, who the fuck is dressed up as this right now? How dare. How dare you remind me of this face? Oh my god. Esme, thank you for the tater tot. Oh my god. Oh my god, you're twinning as Eddie. Y'all really do share the brain cell like every so often. I love that for y'all. I love that for y'all. Okay. Return to homeworld. Proceed. What have I done? I don't know. What have I done? Wait, visit another world server or never data center? Data center. Materia. I say we go to Sephiroth. How about that? Sephiroth it is, besties. Did I get transferred? Did I'm still on favorite. Confirm. Yar! That's so weird. I have no idea what the fuck happened. Sephiroth! Because it sounds like Sephiroth. Okay, we're fine. While we're here, while we're waiting, if you want to go check out the merch that dropped today, feel free to go. If you want if you want a mug, if you want a sticker, I don't know. I'm exhausted. My brain is fried. I don't even know what time it is anymore. What day is it? Where am I? My brain is french fries real. Players in Q4. That's insane. That is the lowest I've ever seen the queue ever. Ever. And it's probably two other people who are trying to get in as well. For me. A mood though? Yeah, really. Really. But yeah, we do have some really cute merch on the merch site though, if y'all want to go check it out. It's really cool stuff. And you can also give a giveaway to chat if you want to give like a shirt to chat. It can be run as a giveaway. Or you can get some for yourself. I have never seen Gridania this quiet. This is insane. But I'm in Gridania when y'all are here. Why the fuck did I look at it? There's no way. There's no way. This is what they get away with on Oceania. This is what they get away with. This is what they get away with. This is what they get. Oh my god. Give me 1 second. I will accept the trade. Just like I need to screenshot this. Like I need to screenshot this. Like this is important information. Where's... Thank you! You're so kind! What the heck? Oh my god, it's Kuka! Chef for request. This is all of your- this is your regular accounts! This is so wild. Ah! Why are you giving me a million gills? That's so kind! Oh my god, y'all are so going. What? Are you still going? What are you? That's so kind. What are you doing? Kuka! What? Let me give you something. Here, take some material. Take some material. I don't fucking know. You probably don't even want it. Oh my god. Not the fish. Why? Oh, look at y'all though. This is your actual accounts. Hi. Hello. Hi. Take 400 grand skill for the material reel. That's so funny. Compared to the... I know. I'm so tiny. I'm so tiny. Look at your adventure plate. Okay. Oh, wait! This is so cute! Wait, the blue mage one? The grr is silent. That's like a coconut. extraordinaire. Oh, look at that. Look at y'all. I do love the picture you have here. It's so cute. It's so cute. And I love, like, this whole thing. Oh, I gotta update my adventure plate now to reflect my current... Edit portrait. No! Why when it reflects current gear, it does that? God, I hate that that happens. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what the thing was. What was stamped? Ah, found it. Found it. I literally can't save it though. It's not letting me save. Because I'm not paused. Thanks for healing me. Thanks for heals. I literally I thought I got rid of my... Close it out. I got this. Thanks for the heals. Oh, there we go. There. Jesus, that took way too long. I'm too high up actually. But down more. Close. Jesus, let me close. Okay, there we go. Sick. Mine's back. Cool. Cool. Can I? Oh my god. I have not changed these in so long. New adventure, main scenario, leveling, raids. Thank you. Do I have any new ones? Ultimate raids. Fishing. Should I put fishing on there? Oh, why don't I have G-pose? G-pose needs to be on there. Hello? Hello? G-pose? The amount of times I G-pose? There we go. That's more like it now. This is more like it. Although I don't do much gold saucer anymore. Should we do more gold saucer? From now on. I feel like we should. You know? Anyways. Very iconic. Very demure, very mindful. Can I edit my glamour plates here? Is that possible, or can I only do that on my... Can I only do that on my home account? Queen Bee when? I don't know what I said, I'm gonna be honest. Something like that. Or are these better? Hold on, these might be better. Are these better? I don't think they are, but we're gonna see really quickly. No, they're not better. Okay. Sick. Right into the glamour dresser. Into the glamour dresser you go. Store is a glamour. Glamour. Where is my dancer outfit? I don't see my dancer outfit. Where the fuck is my dancer outfit? Wait, where's my dancer outfit? Hello? Did I not go through all of these? Oh, there it is. save. I wanna... Hold on, though. Yeah, this one. Okay. This one, we can put these here. Save. Literally, that's gonna be the only thing on that glamour. Until I get better gear. Glamour. Apply. Yeah. Okay. This is very important business, y'all. I promise. Whoa! That looks so pretty! That looks so cool! Stop, that's sick. These look so cool. Look how cool we look. We look so cool. But did I say have a good rest of your night, Esme? Have a good rest of your night. I appreciate you being here, and thank you for the raid again. It means a lot. Thank you so much. Emotes. Whoa! They look so good! Yeah, no I did not. Let me come back out. Let me come back out. From Tiana Extreme. Oh! Oh my god, hello. We are in the presence of a... Oh! I was gonna say Power Ranger, but then I saw your bucket. Oh my god, stop. There's a fish in the bucket. There's a fish in the bucket. There's a fish in the bucket. Oh my god. Look at him! Oh my goodness, and this is an Amazu. The gold whisker. The way that he squeaks when he walks. Oh my god. Wait, twins with the picto. The picto thing. Paintbrush. It's my favorite minion. It's so good. Isn't it cute? Yes! Yeah. I love that picto brush. It's so good. It's so good. Give me a sec. Okay. Okie dokie then. Wait. But while I'm waiting, I am going to lightly wrap up for the night. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate it. Again, if you want to check out the merch, feel free to. It'll be up for however long. It'll be up for forever probably, because I want to keep those collections on there. But yeah. Stop! No way! You have another one? What the heck? Y'all are just so kind. Hello? Look at it! The sound that he makes! It's so cute! Oh my god, I love it. I love it. Namazu are the bestest boys. I do love them. I do love them. I give them that. I give them that. Oh my god, stop it. The Namazu man? Oh my goodness, I love that. But yeah, I am gonna wrap up. If y'all want to join the Discord, feel free to. We're gonna be doing a movie night for The Princess Bride on Saturday. So if you wanna join that, here are the link to all my socials if you wanna follow me on any socials, and then here are the raid commands if you wanna copy and paste any of those messages into the chat that we go into. I'd be greatly appreciated. And then if you're not a sub, the first message is for you. So yeah, let me see who's live. I appreciate y'all so much. If you just hung around today, if you came in from any of the raids, if you gifted bits, subs, bought some merch, I appreciate y'all so much no matter what. Y'all are great, and I am very grateful for y'all. So, thanks. Thank ya. Thank ya.
「
Thank you.
「
Thank you.
」
Thank you.
「
Thank you.
「
Thank you. live. You can we go say hi to? Who is streaming right now? And I can go say hi to. Let's see. Let's scroll down. Takes a lot of scrolling to see. Let's see. Who is live? Who can we go say hi to? Oh, goodbye. Goodbye. I think I know who I want to raid. We're gonna go raid Esther because Esther's playing some mystery, I believe, right now, and that's a fun time. Esther might end soon. Oh, maybe not, because they're doing the tipathon. I remember. She's doing the tipathon. That's right. So please go show Esther all the love. I would greatly appreciate it. Yeah, Esther also plays a lot of Final Fantasy XIV and other Final Fantasy games and other things, so we greatly appreciate it if y'all come on over for the raid. But yeah, do I like your mask? What is it? I still see a mask on your face. Do you have a mask? I don't see it. Oh, are you, did you die? Oh, you self-destructed. Oh my god, what is happening right now? I don't even know. Oh my god. Oh, it's the Namazu! That's cute. That's really cute. Alright, I'm gonna get out because of the raid. Please join in the raid. That'd be greatly appreciated. I appreciate y'all being here. Kuga, Beth, Grass Toucher, Wild, Esme, who else was here? Matt, Eddie, anyone else who's been lurking and hanging out, I appreciate y'all a lot. Thank you so much for being here. Go show Esther all the love, please. Grab a raid message if you haven't already. And I will see y'all next week or on Saturday for the movie night. Okay, I'll see y'all later. Okay, have fun. Goodbye.